4,
Four,
3.
three,
Oh Jesus fucking Christ!
2,
2, 1.
one.
Oh my fuck! That's going to be the worst fucking time ever. Welcome to this episode of the DRT show with Gray and G. In this episode, we're talking about Project Q, the Metal Gear Solid remake, and Nintendo's cease and desist against the Dolphin emulator and the Steam Deck. Please like the show, subscribe, share it with your pals, and let's get stuck in.
Yeah, you were starting off, remember?
Oh no, I'm just making sure that you're not going to be like, oh fuck,
I'm good to go.
gagging on cock. Or should that be the intro?
You'd love to gag on a bit of cock, wouldn't you?
So, welcome to episode 1 of the DRT show with Gray and Jay. My name is Graham, and with me is my colleague and handsome companion, James. James, how are you getting on, my man?
Hey, welcome in everyone. Thank you for joining us on episode 1 of the DRT Jazzy Show.
Boy. Jazzy Show, the Groovy Gray and Jazzy J Show. So like
Let's
I said,
go.
this is our first one in this format. We have tried the podcast thing before. It's been kind of all over the place, but now we're actually dedicated to try and make it work. So, the inaugural podcast.
This is fantastic. This is something that's been in the works for a little while, and I am extremely excited. So
It's going to be great. So, first thing, James, what have you been playing this week?
So, I've been playing a lot of Resident Evil recently. With the Resident Evil 4 remake coming out recently, I thought, I'm going to go back and revisit the remakes that came before it. I say revisit, that's a complete lie. I haven't played any of them yet. Well, I have now. When you came over, obviously, we started Resident Evil 2. And I recently finished that one. Well, I finished Leon's story. And now I'm on to Claire. So I soft locked myself though, which wasn't fun. I also recently streamed on Twitch Resident Evil 3, and I completed that one. So I know.
After I played like 3/4 of the game for you.
Yes, I finished it up. That's what I did. It's all about teamwork.
Well, to be fair, it only gets harder, and
Fantastic.
it doesn't get any better. I didn't think.
No, I'm enjoying it, but I'm looking forward to starting Resident Evil 4. It just looks amazing. So that's where I'm at the moment. And basically, I'm just waiting for Final Fantasy 16 to come out. And yes, I'm just going straight in for that because it's
Jesus
my most
Christ,
hyped
we're fucking
game
2
of the
minutes
year.
into the podcast and you've already brought Final Fantasy. Good man.
Absolutely. Would you expect
Funnily
any less from me?
Funnily enough, since coming back for years, I've actually played through Resident Evil 2 myself. Again.
Good man.
Like, I fucking love Resident Evil 2 Remake. I love the OG Resident Evil 2. And I think we've discussed it before that you've not played the originals.
No, that's not true. I haven't played all the originals. I've played Resident Evil 1 original, 2 original.
You have played 3 original. Oh, it was 3.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
3, I didn't play original.
Oh, right, okay. Aye. Resident Evil 2 original is probably my first Resident Evil game. And then Resident Evil Remake on GameCube, because I was in the PlayStation.
I was PlayStation, so I had Resident Evil 1, I had Resident Evil 2. I don't know why I never jumped into 3. And 4 just kind of eluded me until much later. And then I jumped back into Resident Evil 5, which is actually one of my favorites. So, unpopular opinion, but it is.
I think Resident Evil 4 is where it kind of started to go off the rails a bit for me, because I preferred the whole like zombie survival horror over like the actiony shooters. And with Resident Evil 4, that's where it kind of started to veer for me.
Yeah, I mean that's more than fair. I don't know what it was about Resident Evil 5 that really sort of brought me in, but I don't know. I just picked it up and I just loved it. Oh, all the Shiva mods, no.
It was all the Chris mods.
All of the Chris mods.
So
I couldn't tell you why. It was just at that time I just bought an Xbox 360 and it came out and I was like, do you know what? That seems like a good idea. I remember playing the Resident Evil games when I was a kid and I enjoyed them. So let's give it a go.
I think it's a lot more straightforward than the other ones as well. Like it's more just action. Like it's more linear, I find, and puzzly than the other ones.
Absolutely.
So
don't disagree.
Like I said, I jumped back into Resident Evil 2 Remake. There's all the extra modes as well that I think you need to play. There's like an unlock key you can get, so you can unlock all the extra game modes. Like you play as Hunk, Tofu, and stuff like that. Along Resident Evil 2, though, I have been playing Tears of the Kingdom a shit ton, and it only took me 5 minutes to talk about my game.
I was thinking that, yeah, 5 minutes in, and now he's talking about Zelda.
You go there first.
I'm gonna I'll come back in about half hour, shall I? Okay.
Then you can start talking about it.
Listen, Final Fantasy hasn't come out yet, all right?
That's a fair fucking point. But like I say, I've been playing Tears of the Kingdom. I've been playing it pretty much fucking religiously, and I have done nothing in the game except build stuff and fight and go towards objectives only to be distracted and end up on the other side of the map. So I actually need to sit down and actually play it properly.
I have seen some crazy mods for that thing, to be fair. People just making all sorts of kind of weird and wonderful things.
Oh my god,
people
have been building mad fucking things, like.
It's crazy, I love it.
Fucking madness. So, what we're going to talk about next are just a few kind of news topics. A couple of things that have came up in the last week or so that we kind of want to discuss. The big one, or one of the big ones really, is the new James has given up on the PSP portable Project Q. So James, what are your thoughts on the Project Q? I've only seen limited things. I've only kind of read articles kind of here and there. There's nothing solid out yet, but what are your first kind of impressions and what are you hoping?
Right, so this is a bit of a hot thing at the moment, and people have loved to jump on this sort of hate bandwagon, in my opinion. Now, I'm not saying it's unjustified, because in my opinion, Sony did not do a very good job at sort of announcing it, showing it off. It's not the best looking thing, do you know what I mean? It literally looks like they've chopped a DualSense in half and then shoved a tablet in the middle of it. I mean, it's not starting off great. Then they followed up with saying that basically you need to have a PlayStation 5, which a lot of people still haven't gone for. They've opted to like not go for it, and that is what it is. Do you know what I mean? They're selling enough of them, but ultimately people are sticking with the PlayStation 4s or going with other systems, which is fine. So it's a remote play system basically, and I don't know, like, the jury's still out, because at the end of the day, this is something that has been around since the PlayStation 3 days. And I am a Sony boy, and you know this, and everyone else probably does too. I know, shock horror. However, this piece of hardware has been going since the PS3 days, and it is janky and it doesn't work great, which doesn't set this thing off great either. Now, I was hoping that they'd say, like, if you have like the PlayStation Plus tiers and all that kind of thing, that you could maybe stream off that with some sort of Wi-Fi connection or something to that effect, but nothing was announced in that respect. They also said that it can't be connected via cellular connection, which is a problem for a lot of people. And ultimately, I don't know, I feel like it is a disappointment. However, I'm hoping this is going to be one of those things like what they did with Sonic, where they listen to the user feedback and the negative responses and kind of go, okay, this actually isn't sounding too great. Maybe we should mess about with it a little bit more and see what we can get up and running, because ultimately, PlayStation, you can run the PlayStation you can run the PlayStation stuff off your phone, the remote play. You can run it on your Steam Deck with a bit of fiddling. You can run it off a lot of things, really. You can run it off a tablet or a phone or whatever. And
you can connect your PlayStation 5 controller to your phone as well.
You can. And it's, I don't know, it's just kind of, I want to love it because I miss the PlayStation Portable days. I really do. But I just feel like they've completely missed the market on this right now. And they haven't even announced a price. And that ultimately could put this thing dead on the water, in the water, dead on arrival, however you want to say it. Yeah, it's not looking too great. I mean, again, the Switch was really popular. You know, it's Nintendo's best-selling system. Am I right in saying that?
The 3DSs.
The 3DS still is. So, but my point is that portable gaming has a massive market, and I just feel like they started off really strong with the PSP. they gave up on the Vita, and with this, I'm not even entirely sure what they're doing, and I'm kind of sad about that.
Would you class this as portable though? Because it's almost like Wii U, where you need to be within a certain range of your PS5. Like it's considered like a cloud streaming handheld rather than like a portable, put in your bag and go on the train type deal.
I mean,
yes, it
is portable. Yeah, no, it is portable, because the difference with this is it'll stream over your Wi-Fi connection, whereas the Wii U was connected to the console, and you
but
a
like,
certain amount of distance.
You still need to be within. You still need to be within the vicinity of the PS5.
Yeah.
Do you know?
The problem is, yes, I still think it's portable, but no, it's not portable enough. It's not, like you said, you can't put this thing in your bag. I mean, the screen on it is something like 8 inches. It's huge. Do you know what I mean? It's bigger than the Switch. It's just a bit like.
I was trying not to say that, but I was like, it started burning. I was like, zip.
I could see you twitching there. I could see you twitching. No, but do you know what I mean? And it's just a bit like, I don't know. I feel quite sad that this thing has come out. So yeah, there is a lot of hate for it online. Do I think it's justified? I mean, until they actually release
still early
a date,
days, like it's still.
Well, this is the thing. It's still very early on in the day at the moment. They've just basically said, "Hey, this is what we're working on. You know, it's going to need this. It's going to need this," but they haven't really tapped into it, I don't think, yet. And I think with the user feedback, there is still potential. But if they release it like they've announced it in the showcase, then it is dead on arrival.
Like, I think you're right, just to kind of go back to the start there. I think they shat the bed with the design massively. I think the design looks like one of the things you would see. You know, it's like somebody's drawn it up 4 years ago, and it's like, oh, the new PSP's coming out, and then it's just like, nah. You know, It looks like that. It doesn't look like they've put very much thought into it. And it is, by all accounts, it does seem to be mostly just like a cloud streaming handheld. But at the same time, if it doesn't connect cellularly, then you'll not be able to stream anything on the go. So like, even if it's like, you know, like how you can have your desktop open but be at work, but like access it like remotely. Like, I don't know if there'll even be anything like that. It doesn't seem like there's going to be. It'll still be cool if you could like stream fucking PS3 games or whatever, like PS fucking 2 or any kind of previous game.
Yeah. Well, this is what I was saying about the tier system with the PlayStation Plus is that allows you to access games via streaming or download to the system and all that kind of stuff. Whereas like, it would have been good if this did that at least, but it's exclusively like, okay, so what happens now, right? So what happens when, you know, you're in the other room and you want to play a different game and you've only got it on disc? It means you physically got to go up to the console. You physically got to change over. I know it sounds really petty, but ultimately you don't want to be doing that. You want to play your games on the go. And like I said, with the at least with the PlayStation Plus system, you know, you can download the games, you can stream the games, and, you know, you can play your backlog basically of stuff. And I just honestly, it's really sad that it's not part of it.
According to the report here, basically saying how it works is you do need to be within the same Wi-Fi network as your PS5.
Yeah.
To stream it. Like, it is just going to be solely for streaming. And they're rumoring like similar devices to be around the 350 mark. So I don't know, you buy a fucking 500 quid PS5, a 350 quid tablet, you're on a better part of $1,000 to sit 6 feet away from your PlayStation to play it on a fucking 8-inch screen.
Well, this is the thing. And not only that, I mean, like we just spoken about, you know, you look at things like the Steam Deck. I mean, the basic model for that is like 350 quid for the 64 gigabyte model. Do you know what I mean?
That's fully portable as well, though.
That's what I'm saying.
And it can play PlayStation 3 games.
Yeah. And do you know what? Like, you know, there are other systems like the Steam Deck now that are coming out. There's a new Logitech G Cloud, I think that's just come out. That's a Windows based system, and you can link it all up with that. You know, there's the what's the other one? The Aya Neo. Obviously, that's a little bit more expensive, but again, you can link it all up with that. So to say if this did come out at that price range, again, it's dead in the water, because you can get something that'll do what this is going to do and more, just in a more portable factor. And
like, I think people who have got PS5s have got big fucking tellies to play the PS5 on. I can't see there being very many people, you know, letting their spouse or fucking kids watch Blu-ray while you play your PS5 on a fucking 8-inch screen. I don't know.
No.
Like I said, it's early days. I'm hoping over time there's going to be more announcements. But like you're saying, it just now, I think it's dead on arrival. Like, I can't see it taking off if it's as it is just now. I don't know.
Well, okay, so here's the other thing as well that I was going to say is there's a company called Backbone, and they've just released their little handheld thing that you attach to your phone. Now, most phones these days are pretty big. Do you know what I mean? Like, a lot of them are a lot bigger than, you know, not necessarily bigger than an 8-inch screen, but they're not far off. Do you know what I mean? I think my phone is something like 6.7 inches. And it wouldn't be any bother playing a PlayStation 5 game on that screen. Do you know what I mean?
And what I'm saying is people who have got PS5s and big tellies have opted for a big telly because they want the immersion. Because I remember seeing yours on your telly was fucking gorgeous.
Yeah. No. Oh, no, you're absolutely right. But my point is, again, just sort of looking at the other options, is these little connector controller things that are very, very good. Just plug into your phone, job done, and that's like £100. Do you know what I mean? It's like, and if they release something like this at that sort of 350 point, it's gonna be, oh boy. You know what,
they could have went full Nintendo, right, and just released a new DualShock 5 that splits in half, and then released a tablet that has the docking part on either side, and that could have been like, because if it's only a streaming device, you could buy a fucking Android tablet for about £200.
Yeah.
And then attach anything to that.
And I tell you, sorry, just quickly
tell me.
Back to the design as well.
It's fucking horrendous.
You saying about you're saying about the DualSense and all that kind of stuff. Well, there actually is no touchpad on there, and I know some of the games require you to use that.
I did not even think about that.
Yeah, no, that was the other thing that popped into my head. Was,
oh no, because it'll be the touchscreen. Like, the screen will be touchscreen.
Well, but
I'd imagine.
Are they? That's the thing. Again, nothing's actually been said about it, so I don't know if they are. I mean, I would imagine,
unless it's on the back, like the PS Vita.
No, because there's like this bar. It looks very similar to the controller thing that I was just talking about. The Backbone. It like kind of stretches out, and there's this bar along the back that feeds into the back of the screen.
Well, how many games use the touchpad as like a touchpad? Is it not just an extra button?
Well, it can be. Well, it depends. I mean, off the top of my head, I can't think of one right now. But my point is that.
But that'll be releasing function
there for a reason.
That'll be limiting functionality for future games then, because we can't use it because of Project Q. Fuck sake. Right, we'll move on now because I'm sick of talking about PSP. Recently, one of my favourite games has been announced. It is getting a remake and a full collection, and I am super fucking hyped.
What's that? Mary-Kate and Ashley's coming out.
Yay! Oh! And they're 40 and they look fucking junked off their tits. Anyway. So this is one of my favourite games, and it's getting a remake, and it's getting a collection, and there's a voice actor who's potentially coming back, but we're not sure. And it's Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater. I cannot fucking wait for this game. I loved it on the PS2. I loved it on the 3DS. This remake looks like it's being built for the ground up. There's also rumours that David Hayter, who was the original voice, a Solid Snake, or just Snake, is going to be in this game. To what capacity, we don't know yet. We don't know if he is recording new lines, or if it's just going to be the same lines from before. But Metal Gear Solid, James, did you play this?
Oh yeah. I've played quite a few of them, and to be honest with you, if I'm truthfully honest, I am excited for this game, but I'm still gutted that it wasn't the first one that they done some kind of remake to. But
I think they might be going in order, so I think they might do this one. You know, like, what's the word? Chronologically. Aye,
chronologically.
Like, I think they'll do this one first, because this is a prequel set during the Cold War.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they'll do this one to set the story. And then I think they'll do Shadow Moses, fucking Metal Gear 1 then. Metal Gear Solid 1 then.
Hold on, what did you just call that? Shadow of Moses?
Shadow Moses. No, Shadow Moses Island is where Metal Gear Solid 1 is set. And I was thinking of Metal Gear Solid 4, where you go back to Shadow Moses, and I had a moment to myself where I was like, oh, remember going back to Shadow Moses? And I got well emotional because it starts playing the song and everything. Anyway. So, Metal Gear Snake Eater is getting a remake. It's rumoured to be coming out fall, which is what, like August, October time this year?
I think it's a little bit later than that.
Is it?
No, actually, you might be right. No, yeah, October sounds about right, onwards.
Oh, no, sorry, that's the collection.
Okay.
My apologies. So the collection... Oh, God, the collection. This, for what you say, is no, like, people have got PlayStation 5s, and this is going to be the make or break for me to get a PS5. Like, I will 100%. I wasn't too fussed about God of War, but for Metal Gear, if they release this as a big fancy edition, and they have like a fucking special edition PS5, I will fucking pick up a PS5 for this game. The collection has got 5 of the titles in it. So it's Metal Gear Solid 2, which is just Metal Gear Solid 2. They've got Metal Gear is the original Metal Gear, so as in the NES one.
Right? Oh, nice. Okay.
It's got Metal Gear Solid 2, and then it's got Metal Gear Solid, which are the game, the VR missions, and the special missions. So that's counted as one. It's got Snake Eater 2 Sons of Liberty, the HD collection version, which just looks a bit nicer. And the Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater HD collection version, which again, I think it uses a different engine. I think when they'd done that, they used the engine they made Metal Gear 4 with.
Okay.
So I think that's still going to be nicer. It's only coming out on PlayStation 5 and I think PC and Xbox. So it's coming. It's coming pretty much on everything except Switch, which is fair enough. But fuck man, I'm very excited with this. I'm hoping Konami start pulling a finger out and start really working on their titles. Metal Gear, Silent Hill, give us a new Castlevania. Fucking HD remake Castlevania 64.
Oh yeah, I'm sure everyone's clamoring over each other for that one. Yeah,
there's as many people excited about Castlevania remake as there are people excited for Final Fantasy 16. I guarantee you, if we met in a field and fought, it would be the worst fight on the planet.
Swords at dawn. No, this game is promising. They didn't actually show off any of the gameplay.
The fucking trailer though, oh my god.
The trailer got me hyped, and I'm not gonna lie, when I first looked at it, I was a bit like, what is this? What is going on?
Have you seen the breakdowns of the trailer? People have went frame for frame and fucking seen everything.
Oh, I can imagine.
My god, it was like a 2-minute trailer and people have made like hour-long breakdowns on it and stuff like that.
I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. I will sit there and watch that all day long as well. I have not actually seen that, but I'm going to after this.
It is.
But I am hyped for this. I got to be fair. It's going to be exciting to see what they do with it, how they pull it off, and what sort of things they got going on with it. I hope it's not just a one-to-one of the original, but I hope they don't lose any of the original's character.
I didn't think they will. I'm trying to imagine what it's going to look like because I'm hoping they didn't just make like a Metal Gear 5. I hope they didn't build it in the same, and like that did look nice, but it was kind of empty. So
they didn't say what engines
like you said, they didn't show
using.
Gameplay or anything like that. So
didn't show gameplay. They didn't give us too much. They were just teasing us a little bit. Then let's have a little tickle, have a little. Here you go. And it's gonna be interesting to see what they do. I mean, call me a pessimist, but how much have they actually done of this game? Because we're in summer now, and this game's coming out in December.
To be fair, this is why Konami may have been quiet the last few years.
Neck of the woods. Sorry, I'm saying December. Like I know it's coming out in December.
Confirmed. You heard it here first. December. Christmas time.
should we have bets going? We're
going to get a cease and desist now for fucking Konami. Shut up! You're ruining it, guys.
Guys, stop it!
It's going to be a surprise.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's going to be interesting anyway, especially with Kojima not being involved now. Is that going to play a massive part in it? I hope not. I hope it doesn't play a bad part in it. And they just do it right. It's like with all remakes. Everyone who's a fan of a series does not want their series to be ruined by a remake. So let's hope this isn't one of them. I'm excited, and like I said, I hadn't thought about it, but that would be amazing if they did do it in chronological order of release or whatever.
If they done a Metal Gear Solid remake in the same vein as this, or how I'm hoping this is going to look. Oh my fucking god!
It's gonna be a very.
But it's funny here. I'm reading now because there was the whole like, is Hideo Kojima involved and stuff like that. And a spokesperson for Konami came out and bluntly says they are not involved.
Oh yeah.
So they are not involved, which is fair enough because he's not with them anymore. But
yeah,
they might be nods.
The other thing as well is that little symbol, the Delta symbol, the triangle, as some people have been calling it, Metal Gear Solid triangle. So I'm looking up here now. The Delta symbol was chosen because of its meaning fits the concept of the remake project. A Konami spokesperson said that the Delta is a character from the Greek alphabet that means change or difference in mathematics or variables, and also the meaning of changing an amount without changing its structure. So, that's just, again,
dropping the wee fucking nuggies there, the wee hints for us.
So that gives hope.
I am looking forward to this. Last news thing we'll go on, since we've been banging on fucking long enough now, is something that might affect you, James. I'm not entirely sure. Nintendo are up to their old tricks again, and they have issued a cease and desist against the Dolphin emulator, which is the GameCube emulator, and I think it can run Wii as well.
It can run Wii as well, yeah.
For being released on the Steam Deck. Now, I know the Steam Deck for you and a lot of people is a big thing for emulation. Yep. So, James, with this cease and desist, if this goes through and they have to remove their emulation software, do you think this could start like a kind of snowball thing where it's the Dolphin emulator now, but then it's fucking Moopin or whatever it's called, then it's Nestopia, then it's Project 64? Do you think it's the start of a slippery slope, or do you think it's just a kind of warning shot?
Well, I mean, this is Nintendo doing what Nintendo does, really. They like to make their voices known that they're not happy about emulation. However, what I will say is the modding community out there is very, very clever. So I don't think it's necessarily going to make a big rift. Yes, it's going to be problematic for a little while, probably. It's probably going to disrupt some things. I don't know enough about what they're planning on doing exactly to remove it. I would be interested to see how they're going to implement this and how they're going to know, really, because, like, you know, the thing is with the Steam Deck, especially as you get to know more about it, you can get stuff on there. There are ways and means around everything with the Steam Deck.
People
it's just a
always
case of
find a way,
figuring it. You look at the modern community, you look at what they've already done, what they're capable of doing, and how easy it is that they can manipulate these things. So I gotta be honest with you, I don't entirely know how this is gonna really impact. I mean, they're saying they're targeting Valve, and things might go quiet for a little while, and yeah, they may remove the software and what have you. But I mean, who's to say that this isn't, you know, linked in with Valve in some way, shape, or form anyway? Like there's some deal going down, or some deal, you know, shaking of hands has gone and happened. So but yeah, I mean, it will be problematic, but let's be honest with you, people are going to find ways and means around all of this sort of stuff. You see this stuff all the time.
But this is coming off the back of the Bowser fiasco as well. So the Canadian hacker who was offered either prison or to pay Nintendo 10 million, and he opted for the 10 million, and he's basically going to be paying it off now for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
Like, one thing Nintendo always go after are any kind of IP infringements.
Yeah.
Anything like that. But look, what we'll do is we're going to talk about our main topic in the video just now, which is going to be emulation.
Hells yeah.
So, we'll continue on for the whole cease and desist thing just now, because I think it's very interesting. Nintendo's reasoning, and as much as I love Nintendo, I can see where they're coming from, but at the same time, it's just like, really? Are you
They're
sure?
greedy boys.
Sure?
Let's face it.
So
I
Nintendo
appreciate what they're saying, but it's greedy.
So Nintendo basically says that these illegal emulators and illegal copies of games harm development and ultimately stifle innovation. Fucking can I talk? Nintendo respects the intellectual property rights of other companies and in turn expect others to do the same. Right, so I think Nintendo get a lot of shit for going after people who, basically hack their stuff, because I think they go too deep too quick. That being said, though, I think they're not making any more money off the GameCube. They're not selling any GameCubes. They're not selling any games. They're not making any money. Nobody in Nintendo now is picking up fucking Mario Sunshine and going, oh, you know what game would be great? I think I think there's fors and against, pros and cons. I think Nintendo are more making a statement, because I think they're more concerned, just going back to Bowser now, about people hacking and running Switch games, which is their main bread and butter just now. But I don't know, James, what do you think?
Well, again, I mean, this isn't the first time a software company has kind of gone down against, some sort of gaming platform, whatever, and again, it just comes back down to people will just find another way. I agree with you. I think it's a bit ridiculous, really, because you're talking, who's really going to be going out right now and buying GameCube games or going out and buying Wii games? And if they are, they're doing it through a third party. So
I think collectors wise, I think there's still people buying the games, but them buying them in CX and stuff like that, like, it's no Nintendo or Nintendo cut of that. Like,
that's what I'm saying, though. Yeah, what I mean by that, though, is who in this day and age who isn't a collector or some kind of, do you know what I mean, is going to be like, oh, do you know what? I really fancy playing that Wii game from however long ago it was. That's more what I was referring to. But it's just a case of, like, I don't know. I agree. Who is it really harming? And if you have, like, again, for both you and myself, I have GameCube games, and if I want to play them via emulation, what's the big deal? I've already given Nintendo my money at one point in time to play my games. There is no official way to play it outside of playing it on the old systems. I don't see what the problem is, personally. But again, it all comes down to, what is it, like DMCAs and all that kind of nonsense, rights, and I don't know, it's just a bit... I
think with the more recent stuff, like, I think they're somewhat more, it's a more legitimate thing, where it's actually affecting profits then.
Yeah, but I mean, who's emulating, Switch and stuff,
I know, man. Who's fucking playing Tears of the Kingdom, fucking loving it. Anyway.
Listen, I am not.
But, like, when it comes to, like, the older stuff, like fucking Game Boy and stuff like that, like, anything that Nintendo have decided to stop selling, I think should be free game. Should be open.
Fair game.
Open season, yeah. I think it should just be allowed. I didn't give a fuck if you've got the game or no. Because if you look at games, like, common games on the GameCube, like fucking Eternal Darkness is a fucking amazing game. You want to play that. Mario Sunshine is amazing. F-Zero GX is amazing. But then, what about all the harder to come by titles and stuff like that? Like, all the ones that cost like fucking 500 quid. Even if you go out and buy a fucking... I can't think of a game off the top of my head that costs that much on the GameCube. But even if you go out and buy that for some fucking schlub on fucking Marketplace or whatever, Nintendo only getting a cut of that, like, so it doesn't matter either way who you get off it.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is like, and don't get me wrong, Nintendo have been putting stuff out on their, like, digitals, whatever it is, the Switch store and whatever. They've got their, what is it called? That's how much I play
Nintendo Switch Online. That's interesting.
Yeah,
because then that could affect their bottom line.
Is
in
it
their
really though?
sale.
Or
no, because if they release a GameCube emulator similar to how they've released N64 and stuff like that, because there's obviously rumors about them releasing new NSO stuff, and GameCube's obviously a big thing for it.
But again, let's be real about this. I'm not being funny. I've got Game Boy emulation, for example, on my Steam Deck. Yeah? It doesn't matter if I play Tetris on my Steam Deck or whether I play Tetris on the Nintendo Switch online. It makes zero difference. It's just another way to play it. And in my
that's
opinion,
what I'm saying. That's to you.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. They're taking down people that have these sorts of systems and are able to do these sorts of things. And I would put money on it that they're playing on both. You know, like most people have Switches these days. Like, are they really losing money?
I don't know. It's a tricky one. It's a fucking massive grey area because there's a lot of people who are kind of like myself who are just like, fuck it, it's fair game. If Nintendo didn't want, if any company, PlayStation, Sega, fucking Microsoft, if they stop selling a game, they've said that they are no longer wanting to make money off of this. I think that's fair game. I think the NSO thing's interesting, just with what you were saying there, because when it comes to subscriptions and bottom line and current stuff, anything that can distract for somebody getting their fucking Nintendo Switch upgraded to fucking whatever the fuck it is now, premium, what the hell it is, like to have access to that library, that I think that could be a hindrance, and that could cause them then to kind of go towards it. Like maybe now we might see mere rumours coming up about GameCube, like a GameCube fucking catalog or whatever on the Switch, which wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah. I mean, it's again, like you said, it's a bit of a grey area. At the end of the day, they own those IPs. If, like most people, you have the subscription, they're getting their money. I don't see what the issue is if you obtain the ROMs, you know, in other ways. Do you know what I mean? Or even, I don't know. I don't know. I just feel it's Nintendo trying to make an example out of people to try and, you know, put off people doing this again in the future. But let's be real. People are still going to be emulating GameCube. They're still going to be emulating Wii. I just, and like, even if they do bring it out for the Nintendo Switch or whatever comes next, people are still going to do it. Do you know what I mean?
People will always find a way, because they could take down fucking Dolphin and then Whale will pop up, and then they'll take down Whale and fucking Porpoise will pop up. You know what I mean? Like there'll always be something like.
Then Manatee comes along and that goes as well.
But like things like this have always kind of served as kind of fuel for hackers. We're like, you know what, fuck you now. We're actually going to double down and start hacking the fuck out the Switch, and they're going to start fucking like just ripping the Switch apart. So I don't know. I think it's a double-edged sword. I think there's there's pros and cons and just everything like that. There's always going to be somebody like.
Yeah, no, you're definitely not wrong. And like I said, it's just a case of wait and see. I wouldn't be surprised at all if, you know, literally they take it down, it disappears and whatever, and then literally a couple of months later someone else has done something similar and got a new way to do it. Because, you know, it's like you look at the PlayStation emulators. I mean, they've evolved over the years, you know what I mean? It's like the PSP ones, you know, there's all the
even
different,
the fucking Switch ones. Like I've seen the Switch ones now running at 4K and like
they're running better than the actual Switch. Yeah. And this is what I'm saying is, like, people are amazing in how they do all this stuff, and it fascinates me to see how they improve just the experience. And when stuff like this goes down, I just think it's a shame, really, because, you know, there are lots of amazing people out there that do some great work, and it's great to see. And I don't know, it just kind of discourages that, but doesn't really stop it. And then it just becomes, I don't know. And like I said, with Nintendo, I just feel like I don't understand the purpose of it. Like, don't get me wrong, IPs and all that kind of stuff, I get it. But if it's for your own gaming pleasure, your own personal use, sounding like a drug dealer by you, but
I'll give you the first one for free, and then before you know it, you fucking bought a Switch and subscribed.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'll give you the Zelda, and if you buy this Mario Kart. Do you know what I mean? It's
I'll
like
show you buy the ROMs and then I'll fucking sell you the collection.
yeah, exactly. But there's only ever going to be a win with people even doing that. Do you know what I mean? If you get someone really into a game, they get passionate about the series. The new game comes out, they go, oh, kind of like what you were saying with Metal Gear Solid then. It's kind of a bit like, oh yeah, I really enjoyed that. I'm going to go out and buy the system. I'm going to go buy this now and play it. And do you know what I mean? It instigates all that kind of stuff.
So that goes back to like downloading music as well, where you listen to a new band, you're like, fuck, that's actually really good. Oh shit, they're fucking playing here next month. I'm going to go. Oh shit, they've got merch on sale. And then before you know it, you've left fucking into the band with
and you're
two
in
t-shirts and a CD.
Backstage. Yeah, you're backstage with your legs up in the
banged
air.
by the bassist or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Look, we'll move on now. I think that's it for this evening. James, is there anything else you want to talk about? Anything else random on your mind you want to tell me?
Absolutely. I want to know what happened in swimming earlier.
Oh man, right enough. Fuck, I forgot to tell you. Oh my god. Right, so listen to this. And this is just fucking stupid for me. This is just a series of like internal thoughts just caused me to start like sweat laughing around a load of kids. Right?
That's never a good start. That's never a good start, Graham.
So I was taking Kean to swimming, right? So my son is 8 and he goes swimming, and all the kids in his class are about the same age. So we're standing outside, we're at the pool, all the parents, all the kids start walking and I started singing in my head, it's no good diddling kids, you don't go diddling kids. You know the song for Always Sunny? So I had that playing in my head on repeat. And the more I thought about it, the more I just thought of Danny DeVito done up like the fucking
like the
mortician.
Borg, yeah, mortician, that's it, yeah.
So I'm there fucking trying to not laugh, and I'm like, and the place is hot enough because there's a fucking sauna next to where you're waiting. So I'm standing there laughing, like internally, like it's barely fucking spilling out. And the only thing I could sing in my head was "It's no good diddling kids." That's all I could say. And I know I'm right. I know that's the case. And it's always sunny. There's a always sunny quote for every occasion.
Absolutely.
But it's just when I wasn't thinking anything untowards about the children. Just saying. It's just that thing popped into my head. No good diddling kids. And then I just started fucking laughing. And you know when you catch yourself laughing, and then you think other people are looking, but it just makes you laugh even harder.
And you're like, oh no, I'm in trouble now.
And now I look like a fucking weirdo standing here fucking sweating and convulsing next to a bunch of fucking kids.
Oh dear.
And the worst part was as well, Kean was in the pool. So I was standing there by myself.
Oh.
So all the other parents had their kids, well maybe except one or two.
And they were looking at you going,
I'm the only fucking dad there. I was the only dad
guy
dropping off their kid. And I'm standing there fucking sweating like...
Are you sure your kid was in the pool?
I'm sure he was. Yeah, I don't know. I took one of them. Hey man, I don't know which one it was, but I took one of them. Yeah.
Well, there you go.
That was it. That was my day. James, anything exciting you want to talk about? Anything else you want to share?
Well, there's only two things that come to my mind. So today I've actually been to the Sea Life Centre in Birmingham.
It's been a very water-fueled day.
I would say so.
Jesus Christ.
They now have otters. Sea otters.
Are they endangered?
Sea otters. No. Oh. They've just obtained 2 sea otters.
As in they've just found their way in and they kept them, or they've...
Oh no, they've purchased them and they've built a little area for them, and yeah. So I took the family with me, and we're looking at these sea otters, and literally my wife turns around and goes, "Oh my god, they're massive! No way these are otters. They're too big." So I had a bit of a lengthy conversation trying to explain to her the differences between river otters and sea otters. They're completely different sizes. Sea otters are about 3-4 times the size of a normal otter. And yeah, she was in disbelief for ages, and my son was just watching them just in complete awe. He was like, "Oh my god. Oh my god. Look at him. He's on his back. He's eating. He's high. Look at him. He's flaring around." He was having a whale of a time. It was great.
A whale of a time?
Hey!
The new GameCube emulator. You know what's weird? Mind when you came over the first time, that campsite that you stayed in?
I do.
I was driving there recently enough, and there was a fucking otter on the road. Like roadkill. An otter.
Shut up.
I fucking swear to God, because I had to drive past it slowly.
Aw.
I was like, what the fuck is that? But there's no fucking water next to the road.
He was a long way from home.
He was a fucking trek away from him. I don't know how the fuck he got to the middle of... He was in the middle of a fucking hill.
That sounds like a Disney movie right there.
Well, it didn't fucking end well for him anyway.
Exactly.
Fucking terror.
That's why it sounds like a Disney movie.
Jesus fucking Christ. Right, so, James,
Okay.
Anything else? Anything? You had two things. What was the second thing?
The second thing is we are officially a week away from New It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Way! I am hyped.
And we've had
hyped.
2 Always Sunny quotes in this podcast already. Which is
That's
shocking.
right. For those who don't know, me and Graham are huge It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia fans.
I cannot wait.
Yeah, that is coming out a week today. So
do you think there's a way we could do like a stream? Where like we'll no stream the episode, but like we'll stream it, so like we'll watch it together. But then we'll have it like live timestamped or whatever through it.
Discord.
Aye. That's what I'm thinking.
I'm thinking Discord. So, for those of you who don't know, we have a Discord. Come over, say hello. The link will be in all the descriptions. But yeah, I am down for watching It's Always Sunny in Discord. It has to be done. It has to be done.
So like he says, we've got Discord, we've got Instagram, we've got a Twitter, I think. Have we?
Yes, we do have a Twitter, yeah.
Twitch, everything's dreviewting. Everything will be linked down below. My name is Graham. This first podcast, I think, has been an absolute fucking blast. My handsome companion, James. Oh no, there was 3 fucking Always Sunny things. My handsome companion, that was another one. Jesus fucking Christ. James.
Thank you very much, everyone, for jump in. And thank you, Graham, for this podcast. It's been a blast. So let's hope there's going to be plenty more. So keep your eyes open on the YouTubes and
ears,
keep your ears open on the podcasts. And we'll hopefully see you next time.
Yeah, buddy.